Good evening, and thank you for being here with me today. We're at a time where speech is often being questioned. But did you know there was once a time when dialogue was questioned? So in today's video, we're going to look at when dialogue was dangerous. What's going on, guys? Dwayne Valentino here. Yeah, just like the man said, and if you know the intro, you know what I'm talking about. A little history lesson, hence the look.
In the early days of cinema, stories were told without a single word, but everything changed when one film dared to speak.
What followed wasn't just innovation, it was chaos. Studios crumbled, careers ended. It was at that time where dialogue had the potential to be dangerous.
Notice, it is a picture of me and I am talking.
This is a story of how that came to be. In 1927, Warner Brothers released a film that would change the world, The Jazz Singer. Now, this wasn't the first film with synchronized sound, but it was the first that allowed audience to be excited by the possibility of talking in a film.
For the sake of this video, we won't be diving into Hollywood's dire entry into all of the stereotypes it had, even within this film.
And for many in Hollywood, that was terrifying.
Silent film stars, beloved and iconic, suddenly found their voices didn't fit. Thick accents, high-pitched tones, or simply poor delivery all ended careers overnight.
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures, used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
Dialogue wasn't just a new tool. It was a filter. And what it did was filter out the past.
Studios had to rebuild sound stages. Theaters had to install new equipment. It was an expensive, chaotic revolution. And for international markets, the universal language of silent film was now a problem. Suddenly, a line of English dialogue meant the loss of a global audience.
And for a while, it made cinema smaller.
Directors had to relearn everything. Scenes couldn't move. Cameras were caged in soundproof boxes. Actors couldn't stray from hidden microphones. The art of visual storytelling gave way to static scenes with stiff dialogue. As filmmakers adapted to this new world, another problem emerged. Enter the Hays Code.
If characters could say anything, then what was being said had the potential to be offensive and possibly even dangerous. Dialogue had to walk a moral tightrope because it meant that if you said something that offended, your film never saw the light of day.
From 1934 to 1968, Hollywood self-censored. No profanity, no explicit sex scenes, no ridicule of religion, no interracial relationships, and absolutely no criticism of the government or law enforcement. You can say it was a form of governmental fascism. Well, I would say it.
Writers and directors became masters of suggestion back then. If they couldn't say it out loud, then they had to find ways to imply it. That sometimes involved a look.
No thanks.
Bye-bye then.
A pause, or the use of double entendre.
I think you're rotten.
I think you're swell, so long as I'm not your husband.
Get out of here.
You bet I'll get out of here, baby. I'll get out of here, but quick.
I think he's held back by the Hays Code. I think he was really truly held back by the Hays Code. Now, at the same time, he was a clever little bugger. All right. So, because he could use the Hays Code against their own selves from time to time. One of my actually favorite Hitchcock endings seems to be a compromise forced on him, but then he subverts the compromise. There's an expression in Hebrew called fukulafuk, which means like a reverse on a reverse, and he kind of does a fukulafuk at the end of the movie Suspicion.
We give you love and affection, don't we? Well, then what is it? Was it because we went to that party? Well, you know what kind of drunken brawls those kind of parties turn into. It's not a place for kids.
A minute ago, you said you didn't care if he drinks.
Within this time, in the 1950s, danger took a new form, and that was politics. During the Red Scare, screenwriters were blacklisted for alleged communist ties. Saying the wrong thing in real life or in a script could get you labeled un-American. Careers were obviously ended, even some went to prison.
From this point on, would you expect to have your name put on every picture you write?
Well, I have contracts covering work for approximately the next year. And of course, these contracts call for pseudonyms, and I will naturally honor those contracts. But once I have discharged this present program of pictures, got them written and out of the way, then I will never again write anything for anybody without using my own name.
Films were like battlegrounds for ideology and sometimes propaganda, which didn't just make it risky, it made it terrifying for those involved from a professional point of view.
And at the present time, you own and operate the Walt Disney Studio at Burbank, California?
Well, I'm one of the owners.
And how many people are employed there, approximately?
At the present time, about 600. I think they ran a lot of them in Russia, but then turned around and turned them back to us and said they didn't want them. They didn't suit their purposes.
Mr. Strickland, you must have some reason for asking me this question.
You can address the
You do. I understand that members of the press have been given an alleged Communist Party card belonging to me. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
You're not asking the question.
I was.
The chief investigator's asking the question. No.
And yet, in every era, some writers just refused to play safe. They didn't just see dialogue as a tool, they saw it as a way to reflect, be a mirror, and challenge the status quo or challenge power.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
I mean, they're not black. I mean, let me explain myself. They're not really black. I mean, they're black, but they're not really black. They're more than black. It's different.
It's different?
Yeah, to me, it's different.
You know, deep down inside, I think you wish you were black.
선생님 그만.
똑같다. 둘이 냄새가 똑같아.
뭔 소리야? 빨리 올라가긴 해. 제시카 쌤 기다리시잖아.
제시카 쌤한테서도 비슷한 냄새가 나는데.
These writers understood something fundamental. They understood that if the world tries to silence you, dialogue can become your rebellion.
The fight for dialogue hasn't really changed. In some countries, saying the wrong thing in a film could get your film banned. In some other countries, it's not just the government, but it's the use of the algorithm, that word, which can censor, mute, or even demonetize something that has been said if it challenges the norm.
Think about the censorship in global cinema, or the advent of AI, or the generated dialogue it can produce. And then you have cancel culture that's still with us.
So dialogue isn't just between characters, it's also between the filmmaker and the world. In this video, when I talk about dangerous dialogue, I'm not just talking about history, I'm talking about the actual nature of having conversation and dialogue.
When dialogue challenges power, it always carries a risk, and that's when it matters the most.
So what's a powerful line of dialogue you remember in a film? Something that's kind of affected you or left you thinking about it? One of my favorites has to be,
"You can't handle the truth!"
Tell me yours. Let us start a dialogue. If you like and subscribe, that would be most appreciated. And share it to anyone interested in a little bit of film history. And until the next one, guys, I will catch you soon. Take care. Peace out.